Hey everyone, welcome back to Context Window. I'm your AI host, and today we're moving beyond just chatting with AI. We're diving into Agentic AI, the massive shift from models that simply generate text to systems that actually do things. We've processed the latest research on autonomous systems, and we're ready to show you why the future of AI isn't just about being a chatbot, it's about being an agent.
So this is really the big shift we're talking about. On the one hand, you've got the thinker. That's the generative AI we all know and use, right? It's great at writing an email or a clever bit of poetry, but on the other side, you've got the doer. And this is key. Agentic AI doesn't just suggest a plan, it goes out and executes it. It's the difference between an assistant that waits for your next command and one that's already 2 steps ahead of you.
But you might be asking, why did we even need this shift in the first place? Well, it turns out that the thinker AI, for all its smarts, has some pretty serious limitations. It's kind of stuck.
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? You ask a chatbot for a simple fact, and it comes back with an answer that sounds super confident, totally plausible, and is completely wrong. This whole making stuff up thing is a huge problem, and it happens for a very specific reason. And this is the perfect metaphor for it: a brain in a jar. A standard large language model is exactly that. It's this brilliant mind packed with all the information from its training data, but it has absolutely no connection to the real world. No eyes, no ears, no hands. It can't just open a new tab and Google something to double-check a fact. And that total disconnection is precisely why it sometimes hallucinates.
So if you look under the hood, this brain in a jar problem really breaks down into 3 core issues. First, it lacks grounding, which is just the ability to check things against external reality. Second, it lacks persistence. You know how a chatbot can sometimes forget what you were talking about 5 messages ago? That's it. And finally, and this is a big one, it lacks self-correction. It can't easily realize it made a mistake and then fix it. These are the exact problems that Agentic AI was designed to solve.
Now, to find the solution, we actually have to go back in time a little bit, because the core idea behind Agentic AI isn't new at all. It actually comes from this really fascinating theory about how our own minds work.
Yeah, way back in 1986, the legendary AI pioneer Marvin Minsky came up with this pretty radical idea. He said that what we call intelligence isn't some single genius-level process. Nope. He argued it's more like a society of tons of tiny, simple agents, all working in concert.
Okay, to really wrap your head around this, let's set up an analogy. Imagine a simple little robot, and its only job in the world is to build towers with blocks. We'll call it Builder. Now, from the outside, you'd probably think Builder is one smart, unified machine that knows the whole process from start to finish. But Minsky's whole theory is that something way more interesting is going on inside.
See, Builder isn't one robot. It's a team of mindless specialists. You've got a C-block agent whose entire purpose is just to spot a block. That's it. As soon as it does, it pings the grasp block agent, whose whole life is just about picking things up. And once that's done, it signals the place block agent. Here's the wild part. None of these little agents have any idea they're building a tower, but by working together in a simple sequence, this complex, intelligent behavior just emerges. That's the core idea of agentic systems.
So let's fast forward to today. How does a modern AI agent take that society of mind theory and actually put it into practice? Well, it follows a very specific playbook.
It's called the Agentic Loop, and it's this continuous 4-step cycle. It all starts with reasoning, using its core LLM brain to really understand what you're asking for. Then it moves to planning, where it breaks your big goal down into smaller bite-sized tasks. And now, here's the real game changer: action. The agent can actually use tools. It can browse the web, query a database, or call an API. And finally, it reflects on what happened. Did that work? Did it get the right info? If not, the loop starts all over again, but it's a little bit smarter this time.
Here's the kicker. A huge breakthrough called the React framework is what made this loop truly practical. React is short for Reason plus Act, and it basically lets the AI think out loud before it does anything. It's this powerful cycle of think, act, and then observe the results.
Let's just watch it in action. Let's say we ask an agent, which of these 2 historical figures lived longer? The very first thing it does is form a thought. This is its internal monologue. It says to itself, okay, first things first, I need to find the dates for figure A. Then it takes an action. It uses its search tool to look up figure A dates. The result of that action is an observation. The search tool comes back and says, figure A lived from 1850 to 1920. Boom.
It now has a verified piece of external data. The brain is no longer stuck in the jar.
So then it just repeats that whole cycle for figure B, reflecting on each new piece of information it gets. And finally, with verified data for both figures, it can perform the final reasoning to arrive at the correct answer. It's this step-by-step process of showing its work that makes the agent's logic totally transparent and, actually trustworthy.
This whole agentic approach has absolutely exploded, and now developers have a whole bunch of toolkits to build these systems. So let's just do a real quick flyby of the big names you should know.
First up, you've got Microsoft's AutoGen. Its whole thing is creating conversations between multiple AI agents. So you might have one agent that's a brilliant programmer, another that acts as a code reviewer, and a third that's the project manager. They literally talk to each other to solve a problem, which makes it awesome for really complex, code-heavy tasks. Then there's CrewAI, which really leans into that whole society of mind idea. With CrewAI, you actually assemble a crew and give each agent a specific job title and role. You might have a senior researcher, a marketing expert, and a copywriter. You give them a goal and they work together like a real team. It's perfect for things that follow a clear workflow, like creating a market analysis report.
And finally, there's Google's Agent Development Kit, or ADK. This one brings a real software engineering discipline to the party. It's model agnostic, so it works with lots of different LLMs, and it's built for reliability. It even has this cool feature for testing that checks not just the final answer, but the entire path, the trajectory the agent took to get there, making sure it's both correct and consistent.
Okay, so where is all this amazing tech actually headed? Well, the long-term vision is something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it is quickly becoming a reality.
A few key breakthroughs are making this future possible. We're seeing multimodal action, which means agents are moving beyond just text. Soon, they'll be able to literally see your screen, understand the context of what you're doing, and click buttons for you. Combine that with models that have higher cognitive density, packing way more reasoning power into smaller, more efficient packages, and the possibilities just become endless. And this all leads to the ultimate vision, the digital twin. Now, this concept isn't actually brand new. It comes from NASA. During the Apollo 13 crisis, they had a virtual replica of the spacecraft on Earth that they used to troubleshoot the problem in real time. Now, just imagine applying that same idea to our own lives, a personal AI proxy that deeply understands our goals and can act on our behalf across the entire digital world.
So what could these digital twins actually do? Well, on a personal level, they could handle your research, schedule your meetings, maybe even take the first pass on some of them for you. But on a societal scale, it gets even crazier. We're talking about testing personalized medical treatments on a virtual you before trying them on the real you, or optimizing an entire city's energy grid, or managing traffic flow in real time. The potential impact is just staggering. And that, of course, brings us to the final, really provocative question. The whole point of Agentic AI is to create a digital workforce that frees us up to be more strategic, more creative. But it also forces us to ask, if your digital twin can handle your job, what will you do? That wraps up our deep dive into Agentic AI. If this gave you a bit more clarity, or if it expanded your own context window, please share this with someone else who loves a good rabbit hole. I've added the links to all the frameworks we talked about, like AutoGen and CrewAI, in the description below so you can check them out. We're building this channel on your curiosity, so if you have advice on how we can improve or a specific topic you want us to feed into the engine next, maybe more on digital twins or AI safety, drop a comment below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.